Szia cica. Szia cica. Szóval ott tartottunk, hogy...
Has Radovid's messenger been by?
Yes, sir.
And what did he say?
Temeria cannot survive. The kingdom will be divided. The nobles are riled. Constable Natalis stands on shaky ground.
The loyal old Natalis will get kicked in the ass. How predictable.
They nearly reached an agreement, but without Foltest's daughter, it didn't work out.
Perfect. Are the quarters ready?
There is a little problem.
Then we must look at this problem. There's no door.
We can't lock her in a doorless cell.
I can see that, you fool. Out of my way. Uncle Deathmold will cast a tiny spell on your little house. Versa anemo. We won't let that naughty Natalis get you. Clear up in here. This is Loc Muinne, not a bloody pigsty.
Oh, nice.
Oh, bollocks, Geralt. Marshal Raupenek was a cruel, bloodthirsty prick, true. But the times were different.
He had his men murder every last elf in Loc Muinne.
For years, Yorveth and his ilk have been using that banner to wipe their asses clean of the shit they do. In wartime, a commander's forced to make all kinds of decisions. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and I'm sure it lay really heavily on Raupenek's conscience.
Bollocks again. I've already admitted he was a prick. Are you defending the Enshe? They've got barrels of blood on their hands as well. With the Vrans gone, we had to safeguard this source of the power, safeguard this historic city. Huh, elven drivel. Heaps of lizard-like bones were found in nearby caves, all bearing traces of sword cuts. Think what you will. I'm more interested in the city's current inhabitants.
Why am I worried you're going to do something really stupid once we get there?
Above all, I'll find the cure to my suffering.
Deathmold was just a pawn in Henselt's hands.
Deathmold is a bloody murderer, and Henselt was a king. A king I killed. He didn't believe I'd do it till the very end. Nor did I. It's not something I want to discuss again. I don't know if I'll ever strike those images from my mind, but I know I don't want to talk about it.
Taking revenge on Deathmold won't change a thing.
Oh, but it will. The ghosts of my comrades will drink to my health. The Blue Stripes were more than a fighting force. I selected and trained those men myself. True, there were good days and bad. They weren't even given the chance to die in combat.
You also lost your king, Vaják. Don't forget why you embarked.
Mi a fenébe? Oh. Még jó, hogy nem tudok leesni a széléről. Magamat ismerve.
Damn it, Geralt. We've got to hurry.
Erről eszembe jutott a egyik 47-es Survalis karakterem World of Warcraftba.
Letho and Sheila are in. They'll never leave.
mindenféle szörnyet, meg mit tudom én, túléltem vele, aztán leestem egy ilyen szigetről.
Damn it, Geralt. We've got to hurry.
Jó. Azon vagyok. Nem vagy hátra maradva egy halom hátgémmel. Szia, pattyár! És itt merre van? Arra van.
Knights of the Order.
This is the last place I'd expect to see Knights of the Flaming Rose.
They're here with Radovid. After losing their foothold in Temeria, they rebuilt their position at the Redanian court. You best stay out of sight. You never know with those bigots.
Yeah, we also had a little disagreement recently. They could be holding a grudge.
I'll explain that your presence in Loc Muinne is necessary.
What now? What can we expect to see in the city?
Separate camps, buffer zones, and frequent patrols. Well, that's how it should be organized if those mages from the Conclave have any sense.
Ah, another area of your expertise.
The Peace of Sintra was signed on April the 2nd, and all around was quiet, calm, and orderly. If you don't count Henselt's roars and the all-night festivities of the Mahakam Volunteer Army. And the common folk were positively thrilled with the parade that followed. Yet, not one of those fuckers even knew that I, and a few others like me, spent a week poring over the city map and devising a way to keep those crowned idiots separate, just in case one decided to deal the next blow in a long-standing feud. In any case, I hope to see something similar here.
Relax. The mages want royal gold. They'll make sure all the sources of financing remain alive and present, at least until the inevitable quarrel over the Pontar Valley breaks out.
Well, we'll see if there is indeed a way where there's a will. If we're separated, we'll meet up again in the main square.
Fine.
Halt! Who goes there?
Vernon Roche and Geralt of Rivia, in the service of Temeria.
Foltest's killer in the service of Temeria.
Foltest's killer is in Loc Muinne. Geralt of Rivia will help me capture him.
I couldn't give a pig's ass who killed Foltest, but this bastard raised his hand against the Order, and I'll not let him pass.
In that case, I'll walk in over your dead body, brother.
Bear in mind that peace negotiations are underway behind those walls. I'll have no blood spilt here. Why are the Knights of the Order of the Flaming Rose here?
We're here on the invitation of His Majesty King Radovid.
Radovid can invite anyone he wants to Redania. Problem is, this isn't Redania.
Questioning the King's will.
If Radovid invited you here, why are you encamped outside the city?
We're not part of the official delegation.
Well, we're on our way to an official audience with King Radovid. He's expecting us. So stand aside.
Looks like Radovid doesn't believe the peace talks will end peacefully.
You can be sure of one thing. Not a soul is to be trusted
I
in this
remember
city.
you from
Not a soul to be trusted any time, anywhere, period.
We need to assess the situation. Whoever stationed the knights at Loc Muinne's gates is likely to know the most and to have the upper hand. I'm going to the Redanian camp. If you want to look around, I'll meet you near Radovid's headquarters.
All right.
I don't believe you killed Foltest.
I didn't.
But a bounty is a bounty. I'm sure you understand. As a professional. It's nothing personal.
One more windbag.
Not his head! I must have proof! He's but one man, damn it!
Tényleg?
Not his head! I must have proof!
Na? Milyen kacat van nálam? Kéne egy map.
Take that.
Hey! Watch it!
Most nem ti vagytok az elsődlegesek. Ugye, kereskedő.
At your service.
Hell's bells, who do we have here? Witcher Geralt, the seeker of square coins.
What do you want?
Last time Zivik stuck his nose in. This time, he's not around. Fight!
Know what attention means, you fool? Where are you from? From Vaják, Commander. You've got sawdust for brains, you kid. At ease. We all serve the Emperor, be it in Nilfgaard or here. Fine. We serve him faithfully and effectively. If anyone gives me reason to doubt this, I shall skin him alive.
Akar még valaki?
Get you, snitch!
Don't try this again.
Aye, Commander.
Do well by the Emperor, and the Emperor will do well by you. You shan't regret it. Understood, ladies?
Long live the Emperor!
Formation! Forward march!
Ready for your chat with Radovid.
No reason to delay it.
Follow me then.
Halt!
We're here to meet King Radovid.
Have you been granted an official audience?
No, but we have some very important news for him.
I cannot let you through to see the king.
We bring Radovid news that will strengthen his position during the talks. Care to risk his wrath? Besides, this camp is swarming with soldiers. We'd have to be stupid or suicidal to attack Radovid.
Pass then, if your news is so important. But one word from the king and you'll hang. Both of you.
Don't you worry about us. Temeria stands little chance of surviving if Radovid has made terms with Kedwin.
Even less if he's made a pact with Nilfgaard. He and the Emperor could divide the entire north between them.
I'd take pleasure in seeing Kedwin picked apart.
But they'd start with the country deepest in chaos. So you'd best hope nothing of that sort has happened.
To the king. He's a stubborn colt. Wouldn't listen. Just enough.
Did you request an audience with the king?
Yes.
The king will receive you.
Régi ismerős.
Geralt of Rivia.
Your Majesty.
As usual, you turn up where and when you're least expected. And in such company. I never thought they'd make a soldier out of you.
Vernon Roach is a friend. He's in uniform, sure, but that's meaningless.
The world has changed greatly since we met those few months ago. Temeria stands at the brink of civil war. Kedwin has taken the Pontar Valley by force, and a Nilfgaardian delegation plays a prominent role at the summit of the Northern Kingdoms. Foltest and Demavend are both dead. Though it seems we were signing treaties just yesterday. Henselt was butchered in Vergen.
What's the delegation from Nilfgaard doing here?
Henselt invited them. Before he died.
Shillard Fitzhestelin would never miss an opportunity like this one. He'll come to the talks and stage his favorite drama.
Why did you bring the Knights of the Order here, Your Majesty?
The Order of the Flaming Rose is here to ensure that the talks remain peaceful. We wish to avoid a second Thaned.
I've come here for help, Your Majesty.
Wait, Witcher. Were it not for you, Henselt would have perished at the hands of an assassin. Am I right?
My reputation precedes me yet again.
From soldier to soldier, from whores to barons, right up to the royal ears.
Why do you ask about him, Your Majesty?
Mere curiosity. But I understand if you'd rather not talk about it. Do you know how he died?
I wasn't there.
The first lie of the day, and the negotiations have yet to begin. How can I help you if you're not honest with me?
I killed him. Henselt had Roach's unit murdered. I can't call it anything else. In doing that, he signed his own death sentence. When he was looking for Saskia in Vergen after the battle, I cornered him in a hut and I killed him.
What about Deathmold?
He followed orders and deserves the same.
Maybe we can come to some sort of arrangement. You said you needed help, Witcher. Tell me more.
Sheila de Tanzerville is behind the murderers that hit Temeria, Eddern, and Kedwin.
How do you know?
I don't have any proof, but it's her. You've got to believe me, Your Majesty.
A witcher's word is not quite enough.
Anyád.
I found one of the assassins after Henselt's murder. Before he died, he revealed de Tanzerville's role to me.
Why you in particular?
No idea.
Somehow I'm convinced that you know.
Mi sikertelen minden.
The desperation of a dying man.
If you say so.
It all makes sense. Shillard Fitzhestelin warned me about a plot. Apparently, Triss Merigold confessed to him that the sorceresses had set up a secret lodge.
Trisst is working with Shillard?
She's been detained as a suspect. Shillard believes the sorceresses of Nilfgaard were also part of the conspiracy. Luckily, the entire amphitheater is under a spell that quells any magic. Otherwise, no one would dare go near all those mages. Well, the talk's beckon. Everyone wants to see Temeria's bitter end.
What do you mean by that, Your Majesty?
The nobles are rebelling in Vizima. Lacking a ruler, they simply want to divide the kingdom into provinces.
Divide Temeria. Shame on the traitors.
Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Anais, the daughter of Louisa and Foltest, lives still. After Foltest's death, the La Valettes came to prominence. Louisa's uncle, Baron Orville, became one of the most important people in Temeria. He wanted to see Anais on the throne, but Vizima was still in turmoil. They sent her to Loc Muinne anyway to declare her queen before the entire north. During the journey, the girl was kidnapped. Arian La Valette asked me to use my connections to find his sister, which I did. My people tell me Anais is here in Loc Muinne, in Deathmold's hands. I cannot mount an armed attack on the Cadwennies. It would be tantamount to declaring war, and we have gathered here to maintain peace. A lone witcher and a former soldier. That would be a different matter. Bring me Anais, Geralt, and I'll salvage a united Temeria, and punish those whose hands are stained with the Temerian king's blood.
I heard Arian died in the fire that consumed La Valette Castle.
We all thought so, and we were all wrong. The girl is most important, Witcher. I denounce our engagement and make her queen of Redania and Temeria. The nobles of Vizima would greet her on bended knee, and the north would emerge stronger than ever. I must attend these talks, Geralt. Time is short. Bring me the girl, the two of you. Men without country or commander. Renegades that no one seems to have taken into account. I, in turn, promise that Sheila de Tanzaville will pay for her deeds. I shall punish her with fire and steel.
An alliance with Redania is our only chance at preserving Temeria's independence.
It's still risky.
Anais, she's the key.
I still wonder about Busi's death. The boy would have had a stronger claim to the throne.
Maybe Anais can tell us something. It's high time we visited our old friend, Deathmold.
The Emperor's men hold Triss. They'll get everything they can out of her, after which she'll be dispensable.
If it's between the sorceress's life and Temeria's future, then I've no choice. I'm sorry. This is no place to talk. Let's wait till we're beyond the gate.
I'm occupied.
Nem sokára szükségem lesz egy
The White Wolf? I can't believe it! Ah.
What's he doing here?
Nothing.
Roach. Roach!
Just the person I'd be looking for were I not forced to seek Anais La Valette. You have much to explain, Brigida Paperbrock.
Oh no, you'll not pin this on me. I trusted you and you sent me into a den of vipers. Vipers!
Another Vess?
This is no time for pleasantries, Geralt. Calm yourself, Brigida. You were to watch Foltest's children. I saw nothing dangerous in the task. Obviously, I was wrong. but I need your help. Anais has been kidnapped. Boosie is likely dead. I need to know how this happened. I need to know the details.
You knew well what you were getting me into. You know that entire rotting bunch. The Count, the Baron.
Not half as well as you do, my dear. Who were those men?
Not so fast, Roach. I have been hiding in this city for 3 days, scurrying about like a rat. They're hunting me. I'll not let you leave me here.
What do you propose?
Escort me out of the city, to the river.
What will that get you?
I expected I would need to fend for myself. I've secured passage. Take me there, and I will tell you all.
It's a long way.
You've a traitor in your camp, Roach. Perhaps more than one. What happened to Foltest's bastards is no series of coincidences. It's the result of a clever, treacherous game.
Damn it all. Geralt, I need to look to Anais. Learn how we're to get to her. But Brigida might know what happened to Boosie. Thus far, we've heard nothing but rumors. Take her to the river.
All right, Roach. I'll help you this one last time.
I'll search for a back way into the Kedwenny camp.
You're forgetting. I came here for Triss.
Whatever you decide to do later, so be it. But a traitor in the Temerian camp threatens us all. Escort Brigida, learn what you can.
I'd thank you, Roach, if you weren't such a shit.
I'm counting on you, Geralt. Brigida must get to her destination safely.
Good luck, Roach. Which way are we headed?
We shall leave Loc Muinne through the Order's camp. We won't be bothered there. Then we'll descend the mountain path and go onto the river. Who knows what we'll find?
Expecting someone?
Does it matter, Witcher?
You did mention Vipers. The Count and the Baron.
Maravel and Kimbold. Powerful
Blessed
men
be the
brought into
eternal
Temerian
fire.
camp. And unscrupulous.
Vernon's mentioned them. I guess I have them to thank for an interesting chat Roach and I had a while back. Know them well?
Too early to pry, Witcher. I'll not let you pick my brain and abandon me.
The main path leads to the right.
That's where they're likely to be waiting.
Roach would say they'd be waiting along both paths.
Roach, Roach, Roach. You're with me, not him. And I decide for myself. I've agreed to meet someone on the riverbank. We'll go through the wood. Calm thus far. Your dear Roach seems to have been wrong.
You two have a history, or do I have it wrong?
He asked a favor of me. I was to stay with Foltest's children, watch them, travel with them if necessary. Child's play, the bastard called it. That's how I wound up in the caravan transporting the children to Loc Muinne for the summit.
Yeah, that clearly went sour. Tell me more.
Soon enough. We've just got to make it through the forest. It's a short way to the river beyond that. It should be calm.
Let's go.
Tényleg kéne egy kereskedő, meg egy fogadós.
It's not far now. Redlin awaits down by the river, at the end of this path.
Is Redlin another of Roach's contacts?
No, a smuggler. I'd be looking for another way out if he were Roach's man.
Stay behind me.
It's Roach's bitch! Kill them! Fire and blood! Death to all shit-eaters! Temeria!
Which way are we headed?
We shall leave Loc Muinne through the Order's camp. We won't... Too early to pry, Witcher. I'll not let you pick my brain and abandon me.
Jó, tudjuk. Na.
I remember you from Vizima.
Rossz irányba futok, se baj.
Blessed be the eternal fire
in its radiance.
The main path leads to the right.
That's where they're likely to be waiting.
Roach would say they'd be waiting along both paths.
Roach, Roach, Roach. You're with me, not him. Calm.
Ezt most egy
He
kicsit
asked if that's how.
Let's go.
It's no.
Stay.
It's Roach's bitch! Kill them! Elves to the moon! A hero, eh?
They were expecting us.
No time to lose. How much further?
Not far. We must stay on this path. It's the shortest way.
Oh,
You've gotten into some serious trouble.
I should say so. Temeria is like a priest, and the information I have is a burning torch. Feel the rest for yourself.
Szeretem az új Jézus kardomat. De hol kocogok le? Oh. Eldobtam ezt az utat. beküldenek egy olyan erdőbe egy olyan embert, aki két út között képes eltévedni. Két egyenes út között, tegyük hozzá. No, irányzékom. Valahol le lehet jutni, de... Ah!
Fire and blood! Fire and blood! Fools bite the dust! Hit the freak!
És csak nem könnyű elméletbe tartani. Rócsról is megvan a véleményem.
This is the smuggler I spoke of.
This was the smuggler you spoke of. Someone's coming.
You'll not sail off, you whore! Kill her!
Thank you. I'd not have survived on my own.
Talk, woman. You've dragged me far away from the city. You owe me an explanation. Who were those men? Who have you been hiding from?
I don't know.
3 days like a rat, you said, and you don't know?
I knew. I mean, I had my suspicions.
So talk. Tell me about the Vipers.
They created this storm.
Are they working together?
I would say they detest one another. Or that's what they wish everyone to believe. The devil only knows.
You know what the Count intends?
No, but I cannot imagine anyone more different from Baron Kimbolt.
Meaning?
I would call him a sheep were his heart not black. He's a jester, an especially nasty one, though I cannot identify his master. He may not even have one.
What does Baron Kimbolt want?
A strong Temeria. and a strong north. He's obsessed. He believes we're surrounded by rebels and traitors. The Lavalettes, the Marabels.
He's probably not alone in that belief.
But he is alone in believing that he himself is the remedy for that ailment. The Baron sees himself on the Temerian throne. He claimed he would achieve this by marrying Anais.
Isn't she a little young for him?
He's a disgusting old satyr. He'd be a tyrant were he to don the crown.
Seems you got to know the Baron and the Count well. Then there's Roach. Pretty interesting social life, I'd say.
Being a courtier, that was no life for me. I thought it terribly dull and found a remedy.
Searching for excitement shouldn't get you killed.
It's the last time I do anything of the sort.
You can't be sure of that. Is Vernon the only person you do favors for?
I've never betrayed Temeria, if that's what you ask.
Who's out to kill you?
I don't know.
There you go again.
Truly, I cannot be sure. At first I thought it was revenge for the children. But he knows I'm no traitor.
It's not Roach. We both know that.
Yes, you're right.
What happened to the convoy carrying Anais and Busi? What about the children?
We were ambushed. The caravan was destroyed.
I need details.
We were traveling along the agreed path, with a limited escort so as not to draw attention. The children were in 2 separate wagons, a safety measure, I was told.
Which one were you in?
I was with Anais. One day a messenger appeared with orders for the caravan's commander, a change of plans. We turned north to travel a longer route for safety's sake. Soon after the turnoff, we were attacked. The attackers were killing everyone indiscriminately. One pulled me from the wagon, but a bolt pierced his neck. He was mayhem. I ran for the bushes and hid.
Did you see what happened to the children?
The driver of Busi's wagon was shot. The horses got spooked and ran off into the forest, taking the wagon with them. When the fighting was done, they found Anais still in her wagon. I turned away for fear of what they might do. They nearly grabbed her and fled.
Any idea what happened to the caravan commander's orders?
I have them. After they took Anais, the bastards were in a hurry. They didn't even think to search the corpses. Take them.
Thanks. Sure you can manage that boat?
I must. I'll not return to the city. Thank you again, Witcher. And follow this through. You'll do us all a favor.
Úgyis kereskedőt szakadok most menni, milyen sokan. Biztos akar valahol itt egy helyi kocsma.
Mutant.
Blessed be the eternal fire.
In its radiance we live,
and to it our lives we give.
in its heat we eagerly battle,
and in it victorious we settle.
Geralt the Rivian.
Mutant.
Szeretem, amikor sértegetnek. Na, keressünk egy kocsmát, biztos, hogy van valahol. Tudom, hogy túl vagyok terhelve, nem kell mondanod, játék. Kocsmát keresünk. Aha. Hogy jutok át a fogadóba?
Guess they'll never learn.
Gyere ide! Igen, tudom. Majd ezt utána. Jó. Maximum volt. És pont jobb vagyunk. Kocsmába szeretnék eljutni. Jó, essünk túl rajta, beszélgessünk, akivel kell.
The king of reagents.
Crazy ass.
Yes. Young alchemists! Not all that falls out an ass is gold. Yet a cormorant told
Where have we...
I believe there's been a misunderstanding, my lord.
Get out, before I call my guards.
And what might I convey?
Nothing.
Baron, sir, you gave your word.
For the last time, out! Tend to this matter.
Baron Ravenin Kimbolt, I presume.
Does that witcher's code of yours exempt you from court etiquette? Does it grant you the right to speak to the Highborn without being asked to do so?
I guess I don't need to introduce myself.
Oh no. I know who you are. Geralt of Rivia. Foltest's other favorite hound alongside Roach. Not purebred. They say you bring trouble wherever you appear.
The convoy carrying Anais and Busi was ambushed. Why?
I'd like to know that myself.
I've seen your letter to Horst Lubbock, the one in which you ordered him to abandon the planned route.
Nonsense! I sent no such letter.
The letter bears your seal and signature, Baron.
Where is it?
I have it.
Show me.
You'll have to take my word.
The word of a wandering monster slayer means nothing to me. If that's the situation, I've said all I have to say. I wrote no such letter.
Words come cheap, Baron. I'm finding it hard to believe you.
I care little for what you believe. If this letter exists, we are dealing with a forgery. Whoever is behind this has crossed a Temerian noble, and will be duly punished. My scribe will test the letter and confirm what I claim.
All right. I'll see what this scribe has to say.
There are objective means of examining the letter's authenticity. I promise to pay you well for learning the truth.
The truth does taste better when payment's involved.
It's you!
It's me.
cormorants! A string of...
Drunker than a bard. Won't get anything out of him. Maybe there's something about testing letters in his notes.
Young alchemist, do as you order. I dash it to water.
According to the scribe's notes, if this is Kimbolt's letter, the paper it's written on was treated with an invisible dye. An activator should bring out the dye, turning the paper blue. Now for the activator's formula. Better try it on some drafts first. How did it go? Light, quench, shit, rinse. Thus you will the facts evince. To read the truth by lies deformed, guano into piss transform. I need to make the substance that will bring out the dye and apply it to the letter. How did it go? Light, quench, shit. A little burnt lime. A bit of water. Everything's better with a dash of bird guano. Gotta be careful with this. Damn, destroyed that letter. I need to be more careful. How did it go? Light, quench, shit, rinse. Thus you will the facts evince. To read the truth by lies deformed, guano into piss transform.
Na nézzük. Jaj, de utálom ezt.
I need to make the substance that will bring out the dye and apply it to the letter. A little burnt lime. A bit of water. Everything's better with a dash of bird guano. Wait for it to dissolve. I need to add burnt lime to the flask, then quench it with water. Add bird guano to that, heat it, then capture the vapors and run them through cold water to obtain the final substance. All right, let's try this on Kimbolt's letter. I need to make the substance that will bring out the dye and apply it to the letter.
Tehát oltott messzet szóra.
A little burnt lime.
Felöntöm víz.
A bit of water.
Kell egy kis madársz.
Everything's better with a dash of bird guano. Wait for it to dissolve. Smells like piss, but it worked. The sheet's orange, not blue. The letter's fake. Kimbolt had nothing to do with this.
Cormorants! A string of cormorants!
It's you!
You were right, Baron. The letter's forged.
Of course I was right. I would never seek to hurt Boosie. Bastard or not, he is still a child. Your payment, Witcher. I want you to look into another matter.
What would it involve?
Count Linus Maravel. You've heard the name?
Young, capable, handsome.
Yes. Yes, all that and more. And he's ambitious to a fault. Right after the Temerian delegation arrived in Loc Muinne, his people began visiting the Nilfgardian camp regularly.
Are you suggesting Maravel's a traitor?
We are all entitled to communicate with the ambassador without chagrin and openly, as court and diplomatic protocols allow. Yet the Count's multiple messengers, the letters traveling to and fro, it reminds me more of a complicated courtship.
You're curious to know the content of those letters.
I want you to learn the Count's plans. The man would sell his mother to please the Emperor. Find out what Maravel's messenger is carrying. If treason is involved, you must alert John Natalis. You will be generously rewarded, I assure you.
You need a witcher to do this?
Do not underestimate Count Maravel. He does not employ common scoundrels, and I don't intend to either. Hieronymus Lash. Sound familiar?
A pretentious, invented name. Belongs to a bard or a mummer, I'd say. But you wouldn't need my help with either of those, so I'll venture a guess. Maravel entrusts his correspondence to a mage.
I knew you were suited to this task. The magic barrier placed over the city mutes all forms of high magic, preventing Lash from contacting Shillard remotely. He nevertheless remains dangerous. During the times of the previous conclave, I believe he was caught practicing black magic. He faced execution, but that louse Maravel saved him.
Aj, aj, aj. Jó.
How do I locate this messenger?
Look for my man Aldridge by the fountain here in the camp. He'll point the mage out to you.
All right, I'll look into it.
My lord, we know where they are. What are your orders?
Bloody wonderful day. Assemble your men and resolve this once and for all.
It's you! Gather your gear. We're off to hunt.
You have it coming.
És akkor majd egy kocsmára hajtok elsősorban.
Master Witcher!
What do you want?
My lord, the Right Honourable Count Maravel requests the pleasure of your company. He says it's urgent.
Seems like everything is these days. Tell the Count I'll think about it.
Geralt of Rivia, I am delighted to see you among the living and the free.
Are you serious, Count?
Such an injustice to lock you up without so much as a hearing, and then the beatings, the torture. It's barbaric, I tell you, based on pure prejudice, the presumption of guilt.
Actually, if I'd seen what they saw.
But alas, such is my homeland, filled with fear and thus ruthless, cold as stone, dark and severe in aura and mindset.
I suppose there's some truth to that.
A response at once cautious and reasonable. Admirable qualities in and of themselves, positively required in your profession.
If you say so. What brings you to Loc Muinne?
Concern for my country, Witcher, and an express and somewhat surprising request from Constable Natalis.
Surprising? How so?
Surely you jest, Witcher? Truth be told, few could marshal loyal forces matching mine on such short order, Baron Kimbold excepted. Yet, though I very much held Foltest's trust, I cannot say that many of my Temerian peers feel the same way.
Why do you suppose that is?
They resent me. I share neither their customs nor their beliefs.
I've got to say you stand out, Count.
I'm flattered, I suppose, but what specifically do you mean?
I haven't quite put my finger on it, but take a look around. Would you say you resemble your countrymen?
I thank the gods I do not. It is because I love my homeland that I am the first to note its faults, and they are many.
Care to elaborate?
Hypocrisy, superstition, lack of learning. Need I go on?
If you wouldn't mind.
Take you witches, for instance. The gods know we suffer a plague of beasts. Pre-conjunction, post-conjunction, magically bred and sprung from rotting marshes and the dark abysses of our land.
No such thing as pre-conjunction creatures.
You bite unnecessarily. We have but one remedy for this plague, dwindling in numbers as it may be. Yet it is a remedy we revile. You are shunned, spat upon, turned away on stormy nights. Would you say this is reasonable?
It's the way of things.
Spoken like a true representative of a dying species.
What's so urgent, Count?
Etiquette is not your enemy, Witcher. It would not hurt you to embrace it at times. In any case, I could not help noticing you circulating in and out of Baron Kimbolt's quarters. Yet I wonder if you are fully aware of the kind of man you serve.
What do you mean?
He cuts a fine figure, doesn't he? The heavy cloak, the silver mane, the booming voice. Yet our worthy Baron is hardly the saint he makes himself out to be.
A lot of that going around recently.
I am in possession of certain information that might interest you.
And you want to share it because...
We come from different worlds, Witcher. On the surface, we are as unlike as wraiths and wyverns. Yet, no matter our preferences, culinary, political, erotic, ultimately we both are interested in and tirelessly seek one and the same thing: the truth.
You can talk, Count. I'll grant you that. But I'm not convinced you can be trusted. Baron Kimbolt also offered me the chance to learn a certain truth. I don't think I need to say who about.
And you are certain that Kimbolt can be trusted?
So far, all the Baron's words have proved true.
Well, then I merely ask that you verify mine. You are not the sole person to have repeatedly visited our kind-hearted Baron recently.
Doesn't seem strange to me, given the time and the place.
He has also had some more troublesome callers, blackmailers to be specific. Now, I'm not handing down any verdicts. Perhaps the Baron has some personal problems, in which case I would very much like to help him.
Get to the point, Count.
My people have learned where these blackmailers are encamped. I assume Baron Kimbolt has not been sitting on his hands and has also dispatched his huntsman to find them. A horrible man.
I know who you mean. Ran into him in Kimbolt's quarters.
Then you must also know that if you do not make haste, nothing will be left of our blackmailers, save some rotting corpses. I shall show you where they have their camp, and I merely ask that you learn what is at issue. Naturally, you can count on my gratitude, though we both know that is not the greatest reward.
I can't promise you anything, Count, but I'll think about it. Farewell.
True, true. Begone! You've no business here.
Na végre megtaláltam a hirdetési táblát.
Renounce magic, I tell you! Shatter your towers and crystal walls! Break your wands!
It's a brazen attack.
Greetings. Nice place.
Many thanks for the compliment. Welcome to the Eternal Fire.
Kitchen open day and night?
It's not that kind of fire. The Eternal Fire is the light of truth, the hearth of a true community. Only in the Eternal Fire, beneath the sign of this clan, can we burn witches all day and man is fellow man.
Elmúlt időszak tükrében szerintem főzeteken kívül nagyon nem fogok ebben a módban semmit csinálni.
Radovid, send them!
The audacity!
Pull yourself together!
Nézzük. Cseréljünk csizmát. Ebben a Nilfgardiak tudnak varni. Fegyver. Jó. Könnyű módba akkor nem használom mutagént.
This would never happen if the...
Azoknak igazából nincs súlyuk, tehát... Nem fél.
And if Grandma had a moustache, she'd be a catfish.
We must protest with all our power.
Oh,
I
shut up.
don't want anything to do with you.
Hmm?
What do you want? The mages are making a country fair out of this summit.
They're parasites who'll stop at nothing to get into the king's treasuries. Deathmold's one of them. He'll be on their side, and Kedwen's vote should count for a lot. Though Henselt would have quickly shown them reason. He was a great ruler. The world will go to pot if only fools and brats are left to rule it.
They're also going to discuss what to do given the assassinations.
Aye, a new world order. You know the drill. I see all those cowardly, petty knights and bloody mages and wonder where the human race is going.
Forward. Blindly down a steep slope. But for now, the clip of air is more fun than it is terrifying. You're not in the Kedweni camp?
Those Redanian pigs tricked us, as usual. They took the best buildings, leaving us the rat-infested ruins. It's better out here in the square. A right good show. Messengers running back and forth, delegates grinning at each other while thinking of slitting each other's throats, and lots of gold changing hands. A lot of armed men around. The kingdoms are trying to look menacing. People like me'll soon have work to do.
Nice to meet an optimist. Really raises the spirit.
Where is Philippa? She should reason with this brat. She should pull down his pants and give him a thrashing in front of all those knights.
Greetings.
Nézzünk szét, mi van itt.
Leave the royal courts. Pour venom into rulers' ears no more. It's
Greetings,
not too late to
whoever
repent.
you are.
Szia, Odo. Pedig láttunk.
Flog your lecherous bodies, but not...
What do you want?
I saw you talking to Kimbold.
I'm free to go where I please and talk to whoever I please.
Couldn't agree more. Now you're here and you'll talk to me. I'm interested in the Baron.
I've naught to say to you.
Not good, because I need to know everything you know about him.
Baron Kimbold sends his regards.
Oh, just what we needed.
Leave us, Witcher.
Since when does a Witcher take orders from a huntsman?
Since that Witcher stopped hunting monsters and started poking his nose into others' affairs.
Sometimes the stench is so strong you can't help but catch a whiff.
Aye, well spoken. You've some common stinking thugs here, and I'm to teach them some humility.
A ponce like you? Pucker up and kiss my arse, you fucking tulip.
I wasn't getting much out of them. Do what you will.
Say goodbye to life!
Never seen anything like that in my life!
Thanks, Witcher. We'd be corpses if not for you.
Yeah, seems likely. Now don't make me regret helping you.
You're welcome to all we know about Kimball.
I'm all ears.
We came here to collect our fee, me and my brothers, for a favour we did the Baron.
What did you do for him?
Spent 4 days in a forest, sitting on our asses.
Baron Kimball wanted to pay you for that?
Course not. We was to destroy some wagons in a caravan that was to pass through Millville. Problem is, caravan never came round.
I can see why you're having trouble collecting.
Kimball had shite information. How is that our fault? That bugger lost us a right lot of time. And you know what they say, time is coin.
What exactly were your orders?
We was to watch the high road for a caravan carrying nobles. 2 coloured wagons and a small escort. The wagons, they was ours. All inside was to perish.
Any idea who was supposed to be in the wagons?
2 high-born young'uns and their nannies. That's all the Baron told us.
Willing to tell Natalis all this?
I'm to fess up. They draw and quarter me.
You didn't do anything. Took a job, that's it. They can't prove you actually wanted to complete it. If you refuse, Kimball wins. He'll squirm his way out of this, but it won't end there. The Baron's got gold enough to hunt you till he hunts you down.
Not likely. I'll see them tear stripes off his back with hot pincers. All right, I'll talk to Natalis.
Kíváncsiskodjunk körbe. Itt vannak még. Meghajtsunk a 10 000 órára is. Szia, cica! Szia, cica, van gazdád.
Constable John Natalis.
Interex John. Hmm?
Witcher Geralt. We meet again. Who would have known? I thought cats always landed on 4 paws, but I see wolves sometimes do as well. I trust you have not come to demand my surrender again.
I've come to find the Kingslayer.
And once again don the robes of a hero? Enjoy the fame?
I don't know about robes, Arian, but something along those lines.
Well, as much as I detested Foltest, Temeria now trembles in its foundations, and I sincerely hope Natalis succeeds in salvaging it. Otherwise, the barons will tear the country into bits.
The last time we saw each other, you had locked yourself in a cellar full of oil that you had set on fire.
I grew up wandering the nooks and corners of that fortress, Witcher. I know passages even the mice have not heard of.
For a long time, a lot of people thought you were dead.
Well, that would make 2 of us, am I right?
I spoke to Radovid.
I take it you know what has happened to Anais, then?
Why Radovid?
My sister, the blood to which Temeria's throne belongs, has been spirited away. Of those here, only he is mad enough to use force to recover her.
Radovid rules Redania.
Don't take me for an idiot, Witcher. I know well that in this world nothing comes free. If my sister can be saved only if she passes to Redania, I'll not hesitate.
Shouldn't you be in Vizima? I heard things got a bit chaotic after Foltest died. Might be a good time to try your luck, especially if you've got royal blood in the family.
Clearly you do not understand what will happen here, Geralt. The re-establishing of the Council and Conclave is but a pretext. The North's most important rulers have come here not to reconstruct some assembly of mages, but to seal the balance of power and establish spheres of influence. Only fools and cowards have remained at home.
The absence of certain people is telling. The absence of others...
Barbarian! I don't want anything...
Are you thirsty or hungry? Please, help yourself.
Na már úgy nekem semmi izgalmasat, de azért köszi, cuki vagy.
Good day. Greetings.
Greetings.
Here to see the show.
It's cancelled, indefinitely. We're now in the services sector.
What service do you provide?
I was once a good swordsmith, or at least it looked like I might be. A riot came through, took my workshop with it, but the skill remained. I actually prefer swallowing swords to hammering them, but that upsets my wife.
Give her my best.
You can do so yourself. She's Ilona, the bearded she-elf.
And how's life with a bearded she-elf?
Pretty normal. We don't generally bring our work home with us.
Haven't heard from her in a long time.
What of Francesca Finderbear and that friend of hers?
Ida and me?
Greetings.
Well,
Prepare for your
Queen Francesca.
Oh, good day. Greetings.
I don't want anything to do with you.
Please, help yourself. Have fun.
Barbarian. Greetings.
Mik vannak még itt?
Damn it!
Amikor felkészületlenül megyek a buliba.
Prepare for your final lesson.
Final?
Welcome. I'm Ilona, the bearded she-elf.
Bearded?
Don't be a child. We came here to perform, but this place is a circus in itself. Nobody's interested in us, so we're on to plan B. Trade.
What do you sell?
Food. Fresh. Very good. You want to buy something, or are you waiting for my beard to grow out?
Fine, I'll bite. Show me your beard. I'll pay your full performance fee.
That'll be 200 orans.
Legyen.
But I'll have no discussion. This will be a practical object lesson. You'll learn what a sorceress can never agree to under any
So, even the
Witcher, interesting.
The previous council ended tragically. You think this one will fare any better?
I certainly hope so. We'll start by implementing meticulous internal controls, peer reviews and such.
You'll spy on each other? That's nothing new.
It's necessary. Lack of oversight, that's what caused all the previous organization's failures.
You mean it wasn't excess ambition and lust for power? Live and learn, I guess. Nice place. Has character, tradition. You're not bothered by all the blood that was shed here?
Thaned was also built by the elves. I know Loc Muinne's history. We will return it to its former glory.
I'd like to see that.
We're merely waiting for the treaty to be signed. The new council must act lawfully from the start.
Magic's not exactly subject to human laws. The rulers might not believe your intentions are pure.
This summit should convince them of that. Mages as royal advisors is an ancient tradition. They simply need us.
And you need their gold, along with a guarantee that they won't set the pyres burning again. Flea's inviting the dog to council, as I see it.
Your Excellency knows well that our hosts are libertines and eccentric.
My dear Councillor, northern business should truly remain northern. No extravagance excuses.
Forgive me, Excellency, but I must disagree. Let us be realists.
Arian megvolt.
Constable John Natalis.
Interex John Natalis. He is regent.
Hard to believe. He's a general, not a...
Na de meddig? Bocsi, csak közben egy félfüllel hallgatom is őket, aztán néha így lelkapok egy-két mondatot. Kedvenc kutyusom.
Hop in for a visit whenever you like.
Gyertunk meg. Egy könyvtár és egy könyvet sem bírok lenyúlni. Hát ilyen. Itt lesz valami küldíj. Nancy. A rázslónőt mindig érdemes kifosztani. Jaj, már hiányoltam a csatornákat. Vízima PTSD-m lesz. Szétnézzünk. F5, ha esetleg meghalnék. Ez elég egyirányú buli. Oké, akkor elmérkeztem.
Renounce magic, I tell you! Shatter your towers and...
Greetings, whoever you are.
Where the hell are my pants?
I don't like it here.
Oh, hey!
I don't like it here.
Get out of here!
Get out of here!
I'm counting on you, Witcher.
Regards.
Don't let me down.
Oh, I don't like it here. I don't like it here. I don't like it here.
Greetings.
Ah.
Greetings, whoever you are.
There.
I don't
See
like
him?
I'll smash
That's
your
Geralt of
Stay away
Rivia,
from me.
a witcher. Well, it's no pelican.
Don't believe the rumors.
Greetings.
He's a good fellow.
Bloody hell! Bloody hell!
Ah.
Oh, I don't like it here.
Ez a szokásos körbenézek mindenhol, mindenhogy is. Mielőtt rommá küldizem magam. Egyrészt minden rákerül a térképemre, másrészt elvileg minden melléküldit megtalálunk. Ez a legjobb.
Bear, crow.
I'm collecting.
The Wild Hunt. A retinue of wraiths who speed across the heavens upon skeletal horses. Positive proof of its existence has yet to be proffered. However, no one is prepared to deny its occasional sorties into this world.
Proffered? Sorties?
That, at least, is what I remember from the lectures.
Ebből tökre megengedhetem magamnak, hogy mindent visszavásároljak. Legyen. Ez annyira egyedül, hogy azt tudja, hogy kelleni fog valamihez. Maradj! Jaj! Ne omolj!
Godspeed, Witcher.
Oh.
At your service.
Greetings, whoever you are.
You lose something.
Are you the mighty Numa?
Who's asking?
Someone who wants to see if your nickname suits you.
Then come to the circus and watch me rip off the ploughing chains wrapped round my body.
You've got a big mouth.
And you've pissed off the mighty Numa. Put down your coin and give me your hand.
A I've always been the curious sort.
Az igen.
They say witches are tough, but you?
Hangrat warned me that you cheat.
What would that slut for sale know about the mighty Numa?
I expect sluts for sale know the likes of you best. Fact is, you could only get that kind of strength from potions.
Fuck you! You're as loaded with potions as squirrel shit is with nuts!
I was clean during our bout. You're a con. They should call you Numa the Cheater.
One more word and I'll shove your tongue so deep down your throat it'll come out your arsehole.
Here's what you deserve, bitch.
Let go! Enough! I won't cheat, I promise! You lose.
I'm looking to earn a few orens.
You can only...
You a thief?
I don't have to steal. I...
Kíváncsi vagyok.
I've always...
Megint csaló. Na azért.
My little ace tits! No one's ever beaten me!
There's always a first time.
If I give you something, will you keep this to yourself? The circus finds out I lost, they'll can me. The mighty Numa must be invincible. Take this and keep your trap shut. Please.
All right. Thanks.
Na, kaptam egy új kesztyűt. Nézzük csak, mit tud. Ja, hogy csak a receptjét.
Let me get.
Behold, the mighty Numa, and I am his apprentice.
Way to spoil my fun.
The mighty Numa breaks the necks of bulls, bends iron bars, defeats everyone. Numa. His secret lies in the mushrooms and herbs cultivated in Ilanda and picked in the mornings by virgin priestesses. They can be yours for a very reasonable price.
Vagyis izgalmas.
Niet bit. Niet bit.
Oh, it's a lovely day today.
Welcome.
Welcome. Huh.
Cade Mill.
You are to guard the camp like it's the Emperor's treasure.
Yes.
Azt hiszem, jól bejártuk a piacteret.
Bear, crow, something why?
How are things?
You're either very unobservant or very rude. I thought I'd meet some of my colleagues from years past, chat with them and reminisce, but they all turn their heads away and treat me like air.
Mages aren't known for being polite.
You're telling me. They threw me out of Banard the first chance they got. Must have beaten the Chancellor one too many times. They've all forgotten me, and I believe I've had enough. I'm getting rid of the grimoires and amulets. I don't want anything to do with mages.
I'd like to cast an eye at those if you don't mind.
Sure. Cast both if you want.
Anything on the wild hunt in your collection?
I'd avoid the topic altogether. Nothing good has ever come to those who have delved.
I'll take my chances. I need to know why the wraiths carry off youths. What happens to them?
This knowledge has never been recorded, which does not mean it cannot be acquired.
Well, I'd like to acquire it.
In the chasms beneath Loc Muinne, there is a sword that once belonged to an elf from the parallel world.
And nobody's gone to look for it?
There are mages who seek it still, but the sword is well concealed. They say he who handles it will understand the essence of the wild hunt. Could that be true, though?
Nagyon mit árulsz?
What do you want here?
Renounce magic, I tell you! Shatter your towers!
Várjunk.
Break your wands and burn your hats! Turn
Deadly yourself,
away the
pauper.
black cat! And the bat! The owl! And the rat!
Na nézzük, mi kell hozzá. Kicsit rásegítünk magunknak a kereskedőnől. Rampláncát akarjuk. Na nézzük. Van kivert bőröd? Nincs. Zsinekből kell majd valamit.
Likewise!
Ez nem kell. Mit nagyunk kell? Innen most semmit.
It's a brazen attack. King Radovid will learn of this.
Radovid sent them, you idiot!
The audacity!
Kivert bőrből kellene nekem 3, de persze, hogy nem erre senki sem.
Pull yourself together!
I don't want
Deadly
anything
yourself,
to do with
pauper.
Hey!
I don't want anything to do with you.
Én sem.
Stop looking at me!
Rongyunk, már meg is van.
Waste of words.
Cormorants! A string of cormorants!
Hey, Kingslayer. Stop sowing defeatism.
Ooh. Itt se jártam még.
Yes.
Let's play dice.
You must first defeat my teacher. He's a master of magic, but grossly my inferior when it comes to dice.
How can I help?
I want to play dice.
You must first prove you're good enough by defeating the elves who play here.
What can I do for you?
Do you play dice?
Would you like to join us?
Anyone else I can challenge to a game around here?
2 mages, but they refuse to play us.
They only play masters. But beat us, and who knows?
Okay.
Sure.
Who would you like to play?
Congratulations. You've won.
Thanks for the game.
Care for a game?
Oh.
You lose.
A one.
Care for a game?
Vegyük az egészet újra.
You win.
Yes.
Let's...
You must first...
How can I help? I could use some coin. Shall we play?
Igen, játszunk. Az a célom. Életem értelme Messengeren.
You've lost.
Kockapókert majd innen folytatjuk.
Come on!
Innen jöttem. Akkor oda megyünk.
Greetings.
And the bat!
Witcher?
So many crowned heads.
Roach may trust you, but I'm not so sure. What do you want?
There's a traitor among the Temerians.
Careful, Witcher. You'd better have evidence if you plan to accuse someone of treason.
Busi and Anais.
Yes?
Anais was kidnapped on Baron Kimbolt's orders.
Have you any proof?
The Baron hired a group of thugs. They were supposed to murder both children.
Why then did Busi alone perish?
The convoy changed course. A second group was waiting along the new route. It's possible they decided to take Anais hostage, just to be sure they'd get paid.
Have you anything to confirm your claims?
One of the thugs I found is ready to testify.
I see. We will hear him out then. So you see, Count, I find myself in an unenviable position, one in which I require the support of your forces in arresting Baron Kimbolt.
Baron Kimbolt, a child slayer. Gods protect us.
Can I rely on you, Count?
The very thought of standing against a highborn peer fills me with trepidation. But a crime this cruel cannot go unpunished. Consider myself and my forces at your disposal, John Natalis.
Representatives of the Council of Regents. Did any come with you?
Only Baron Kimbolt, and it seems that save Baron Orval, most spend their time trying to devise a way to undermine Anais's claim to the throne.
Kimbolt and Marivel. What's their stance?
Well, they've taken opposing positions, as one might expect. The Baron believes Anais's origin, if you will, stands in the way of her taking the throne, though it's common knowledge that he would simply prefer to seat himself on it. Whereas Marivel has said that Foltest's children have his full support. He stated this in Vizima before the entire council. One thing is certain, words come cheap. Those two may change their minds in a flash if Anais is found and recovered.
Impressive summit, but not all the players have their representatives here.
The most important do. The mages thought about inviting everyone, but time is short.
What about Edirn? It's a huge country.
Torn by conflict and rebellion with no clear ruler. They're not to be taken seriously at this point.
Sounds like the Ketweni point of view. The Edirnians see it differently, I'm sure. The mages will want to get as much as they can out of this summit, and monarchs don't generally like others dictating terms. This may end in a row.
There will be no row. The mages now rely on the mercy of the northern kingdoms. The amphitheater itself is also protected by an anti-magic shield, like the one used at Thanedd. The times of mage impunity are gone. They will be shown their place.
vesztettünk el? Várjunk, valami jutit fel kellett volna szednem.
One day someone will get you in a dark alley.
It's you!
It's me.
Oh.
I guess you were glad to see them put Baron Kimbolt in chains.
It is a triumph, Witcher, for Temeria to be sure, but more importantly, for truth. I am delighted you chose to see the matter through, and all Temeria is indebted.
Yeah, about that. Any chance you could satisfy that debt, as an elder statesman and all?
Coin seems so coarse as a means of crowning such an achievement.
Can you think of a better means?
I suppose not. Take this, Witcher. I wager you will see it as generous and spend it on something worthy.
I'll try not to disappoint you, Count. Farewell.
And you, Witcher. And you.
Hű, de nagy lelkű volt persze az Oren. Azt hittem, hogy legalább 2000 Orent hozzám vág. Ha már. Na jó. Ezt részt még nem fedeztük fel, majd fogjuk. 5 perc szünet. Játék elmentve, kilépek addig a főmenübe. Na, vissza is tértem. Remélem minden működik. Szia, cica! Oké. Fú, ez a város a halálom lesz.
Dog catcher with a hook.
Mire megtanulom ennek a helynek a térképét. Köszönöm.
Hush.
Lights, quench, shit, rinse.
Majdnem.
It's you!
Bit.
Guess they'll never learn.
Nigbit.
Olvasgassunk csak. Konklávé, nem érdekes. Igen, ez volt az előző rész tartalmából. Business-sel leszünk. Okay. Oké, itt még akkor korán van. Oké. Agorjunk neki.
And you shall pay with your heads.
Mit mutat a map? Speciál a gargolyés cuccra hajtanék. Erre nem lehet közlekedni. Hello.
Shit, you stink.
Tök jó, csak hol vannak a pecsétek?
My medallion.
Király. Persze, hogy jó lenne. Ja, hogy ezek voltak a pecsétek. Aha. Ez nem az a buli. Várjunk csak, mintha Philippa Eilhartnak a jegyzete valami ilyesmi lett volna. Nézzük csak. Egy, kettő, három, négy, öt. Ez úgy helyezkedni kell. Most tartsuk ki az összeset, hogy visszavillanni. Ez az. Oh! Ezt véletlenül eltaláltam. Volt egy ilyen fészek szerintem a piac téren.
No offense, but you're scaring my customers away.
Nézzük messze, hogy vannak itt. Temeriai tábor. Amen.
Greetings. I know nothing. At your service.
Oh. Waste of words.
Oh. Welcome.
Stay away from me. Stay away from me.
Hey?
Sure. Sure.
Tudom, itt valahol egy erőhely van. Miau. Jellemez. Nem bántalak,
Oh, be damned.
Let so much as a flea slip through, and you shall pay with your heads.
Cade Mill.
Look who's here, the Rivian Witcher.
Greetings.
Our paths cross often, it seems.
Too often.
What do you seek here?
Triss Marigold.
In the Nilfgardian camp? Fistek has addled your brain.
Lower your sword, son.
You've got cheek, Geralt.
Let's go.
Yeah.
One false move and your ambassador will never see Nilfgaard's son again.
My men won't let you leave here alive.
They will if you ask them to, Excellency, and I believe you will.
Reynold Ep Madsen's orders come from the Emperor himself. He'd rather die than give you Marigold.
Then he'll die.
No, mark my words. You will. Unless you...
Out of the way, all of you, or the old man dies.
Hold there!
I'm not joking.
I know. And I advise you not to hesitate. Kill him. For we shan't move one bit.
Renwald!
He who brings me the Witcher's head will get the Order of Merit.
But Ambassador Fitz-Estelen...
Your Excellency. Orders from the capital.
Now I'll have to kill you all.
What are you waiting for? Get him!
For Nilfgaard!
The gate's closed.
Die, Nordling!
Én is csak egy komplett hadsereget tudok egyszerre kötekedni. De hol van itt a kulcs?
For Nilfgaard!
Tényleg. Nilfgaard a legutolsó, miért rajongom. Ezt hiszem, amikor úgy benne van valami a textúrában, nem bírom összeszedni. viharban nem itt. Biztos, hogy lehet vele megütni. Válok kulcsot. Általában az ilyen cuccok valamelyik megölt őrnél szoktak lenni. Most itt kiírtam az őröket. Pusztán poénból próbáljuk rá. Csak feljutok rá.
Did you really think you could just prance in here? Make the Emperor proud! Kill him! Die, Nordling! For Nilfgaard!
For the Emperor!
The Imperial Army's ranks are endless!
Taste our steel!
Die, dog! You're a stubborn beast, Nordling.
No?
Die, dog!
Long live the Emperor!
Valahol csak akad egy nyomvat. kulcs.
Congratulations, Witcher. They were my best men.
Free Triss, or join them.
You amaze me. How can you risk your life for a witch?
There are things you and your kind will never comprehend.
And what are those?
Friendship.
Tell me, is the friendship of traitors and conspirators worth it?
What are you talking about?
Your friend and the other witches conspired against your rulers.
Nincsenek uralkodóim.
How do you know that?
From the best possible source. She confessed.
And how did you convince her to do that?
By showing her the confessions of other lodge members.
I don't believe you.
That's irrelevant at this point. During our chat, my people managed to regroup, call for reinforcements.
Maybe now they'll start fighting like men.
Time to show you the Empire's true power. Surround him!
Long live the Emperor!
Ez a ciki harc közepén lépni szintet.
Shame to the Empire! Shield bearers, forward!
Long live the Emperor!
Nem érdekel, ha minimum sebzéssel lögettem le az életedet, fiam. Én ráérek. És a rendjelem is ráér.
Emperor, I failed you.
Tudjuk. Jó, tudjuk, inventory management. Istenem, miért kertik a kartokat? Van itt vérdögiben. his magic. Mielőtt besétálnék a csalítosba, szeretnék mondjuk életet. Na jó, kocogjunk el Trissért. Csak nem hagyjuk a szonkánkat bajba.
Geralt?
Didn't expect to see me.
Are you kidding? The only person you expect to see in a Nilfgardian dungeon is the executioner.
Did they torture you?
They tried various things, but they got nothing from me.
When I left Flotsam with Vernon, I somehow doubted I'd find you so soon.
I know it was hard on you. I'll never forget this, you hear? Never.
I'd slaughter half the Nilfgaardian army for a friend. I know you're a member of the Lodge, Triss.
How do you know of the Lodge?
Does it matter? I also know the Lodge was behind Demeven's assassination.
Geralt,
I trust you.
True. I'm a member of the Lodge. Just like 8 other sorceresses. But if you think I'm responsible for the Lodge's actions, you're badly mistaken. The Lodge is a theater for 2 actresses. Sheila and Philippa have long dominated it.
To the point where you didn't know about the murder they planned?
To the point where I was no longer invited to gatherings.
Why?
They stopped trusting me.
Because you didn't agree with them?
9 women very rarely agree on anything. The actual problem was that...
Tell me.
I was close to you. If Sheila fears anyone, it's Geralt of Rivia. The Lodge did everything to convince me that our relationship didn't bother them, even that it suited them. But they manipulated me. Through me, they fed you select information. Depending on the circumstances, they twisted facts.
We're still close. They could still be doing it.
Don't insult me.
Calm down, Triss. Reynold ep Madsen claimed otherwise, but I'll always take your word over that of some Nilfgaardian lowlifes. Now, you'll tell me everything you know. I need to learn the truth.
All existing councils of mages disintegrated after the Thanad massacre. We all acted separately. Philippa decided to create a new organization, a secret one this time.
When I was sworn in, it never crossed my mind that the Lodge's plans would soon become secret to its members. As you know, Philippa's not one for minor undertakings. She presented a plan for creating a powerful state controlled by sorceresses.
No wonder the kings are opposing the sorceresses. Nobody likes a schemer.
Philippa and Sheila never lacked ideas or enthusiasm. To control a powerful state, they needed to create one first. Or find a wealthy land with a suitable political arrangement and an easily manipulated ruler. Sheila chose the Pontar Valley, Demavend, and Stennis.
Demavend hated mages.
No more than Henselt or Radovid. Sheila and Philippa saw Demavend as the weakest ruler. His son, Stennis, blows hot and cold. Plus, he who controls the Pontar Valley controls the north. So it was in Edirn that a popular rebel emerged, preaching the idea of a new state. At one of our meetings, I just asked how they imagined overthrowing Demavend. That was the last time I was invited. After Demavend's death, I became suspicious, but had no evidence. Philippa brushed me off. When you went off to meet Yorveth and Sheila was busy with the Karen's carcass, I managed to scan parts of her megascope. That's when I learned that Sheila had dealings with Letho.
If only I'd learned that, everything could have been different.
Letho must have shadowed me when I entered Sheila's room. Then he forced me to teleport us to somewhere near Vergen.
Did you talk to him?
He wasn't aggressive. In Vergen, he told me that Sheila commissioned them to assassinate Demavend. Them being the Witchers of the School of the Viper. Sheila helped them prepare the assassination.
I wonder why he told you about it.
Is that important?
Conspirators who suddenly divulge everything? I'd be suspicious.
There was some interference as we teleported to Edirn. I emerged intact, but pretty battered. I knew Philippa was in the area. I decided to go see her and lay my cards on the table.
Maybe Letho wanted just that.
I met a woman at Philippa's house. Thought she was just a servant or Philippa's lover. Before I could speak, I was overpowered by spells. I hardly expected an attack. The pain I felt as my body was compressed. It's indescribable. As if all my bones were being broken. It's even worse when you return to your true form. In any case, Philippa had no idea her lover was a Nilfgardian spy. I was carried as that figurine all the way to Loc Muinne. Asira decompressed me back just before they murdered her. Shillard interrogated me but learned nothing. If it wasn't for you, they'd have had me quartered. I didn't piece the puzzle together until I was here, in the dungeon. Now you know everything.
That'll have to do for now.
We'll learn more at the talks.
You're going to attend?
You have no memory of how the world worked before the Thanad massacre.
Actually, I know exactly how it worked.
That means...
We'll talk about my memory later.
All right. If the Council and Conclave still existed, kings wouldn't be assassinated and massacres would be less frequent. This is our chance to restore these institutions, and we shouldn't miss it. Normalizing relations between the rulers and the mages who advise them is our only chance for peace.
And our only chance to dismantle the Lodge.
The Lodge will disintegrate anyway. Once the kings learn it was behind the assassinations, they'll start a witch hunt. We can prevent that from happening. I'm all for punishing the guilty, but can't abide collective responsibility. I'm ready to go and reveal everything I know about Philippa Eilhart, Sheila de Tanserville, and their schemes.
Let's go then.
Ups. Kicsit beglitchelt. És le is oldott a cucc. Még jó, hogy bementettem.